investing in what works for better lives. So our job is to not only champion an evidence-based approach to all decision making, but it really is to support the social system to invest in what works to improve people's lives. Well, we're small, we're agile, we are comfortable with experimentation and prototyping in that, in some ways, frontiers. You hear a lot these days about if we're really going to improve the social well-being of New Zealanders, then we have to do things differently. Well, I think we model that, and I think we live doing things differently in the public sector.
So the government operates on a silo-based system whereby there's ministries for health, education, social development, children and so forth. Where Social Investment Agency is quite distinct and valuably different from that model is that it is a cross-agency entity. That is, it does work that applies across all of those traditional silos. That, in my view, having been a science advisor for best part of 4 years, is where the action lies. That's where the best stuff happens. That's where the most important work can take place.
The SIA was set up, so we've been a standalone government department for just under a year. In the last year, moving towards having a final organisational design and structure. The way I describe it to my team is we're moving from start-up to growing up. So we still have a start-up mentality, as I said, the experimentation, the prototyping being frontiers, but we know that there are some things about our processes and how we do things needs to change, but we do need to put some more stability into our structure. So while the mission of our organisation is very clear, our work program, it continues to move around a little, but I think we're much clearer now on the things that we need to deliver. Within that, there's still an awful lot of scope to determine how we go about that. So I think a real value proposition is the opportunity to come in and help shape. We're a year in, there's still a lot of opportunity to help us shape our future.
There's no better opportunity. I say that without hesitation. The person that would enjoy working here would be characterised by curiosity, by a desire to make a real difference. Beyond that, you actually need data. It's the lingua franca of how policy gets made these days. And this is a hub for the best data across multiple sectors, integrated beautifully here. And so this is the engine room of change. If you were excited by that, and I'd say you'd have to be dead from the waist up if you weren't excited by that, this is the place for you.
In terms of the types of people we want working here, they're a little bit like the people we've already got working here. We have a really diverse workforce.
Smart, hard-working.
I think people need to be resilient. It's not an easy job that we've got. You do have to challenge, and you have to challenge constructively. We talked in our early days about being a disruptor in the system, and I've learned a lot about what good disruption looks like and what disruption looks like that isn't particularly helpful. We're in here for a very long run game, and so you're not going to see wins or deliverables every single day, and you need to be comfortable with that. We want smart people. We've got very smart people in here. We want humble people. I don't want people who are just focused on methods and methods alone. They need to understand the methods and the use of data, but they really need to care about and understand what those methods are being applied for. So they really do need to care about the mission of the organisation. And I think that's one thing I would say about actually every single person who works here today. They're here because they care about the mission.